Alright guys, so I'm going to be doing a review of a comic I've been really wanting to read, and this is another one that came from my good friend Chris, aka the Mount Vernon Kid. Chris, thank you so much for this book. And that is Dark Ages, the Marvel event. Not really, it's more of the Marvel miniseries that Tom Taylor wrote. It was like his last book at Marvel that he wrote before going exclusively to DC. Dark Ages was another apocalypse book, another like post-apocalyptic story like Tom Taylor had done for Dead Planet. Deceased, which is soon to be wrapping up soon. This book is it's kind of like in the same vein of Dead Planet in that without the zombies, there are undead monsters here. Don't get me wrong, but like the thing of it is that this book is a little different in that it's like it has that same vein of Deceased was a bummer that it's a post-apocalyptic story and superheroes are dying left and right. The difference is that there's a little hope here. It's not like it's not like Old Man Logan where everything's depressing and there's only minimal light of hope. Really, here it's like there's some, they even say in the comic, like, if the world ended, but that doesn't mean it was a total loss. Like, a new civilization was kind of born from it. So the story is that a being called the Unmaker, which was trapped at the center of the Earth, tried to destroy the planet, and Doctor Strange stopped it by using a spell that unleashed an EMP wave. Fortunately, Strange died, and the EMP wave echoed across the continent, across the planet. So the heroes that survived that day more or less got together. The heroes and villains got together and were like, let's do something different this time. Rather than just try to kill each other and fight for land, let's try to build like a utopia. So Wakanda became the new capital of this new world, and the remaining superheroes are trying to like build a better society. However, there's a problem in that Apocalypse is planning on bringing back the Unmaker and more or less destroying the planet, and that's where we are. So this story really, Tom Taylor's dialogue is a lot of fun. I think he does some great back and forths here and there. He also has an emotional gut punch where it's need to, because you basically, the Unmaker fights the team sent to fight him. You feel bad that when he just annihilates all of them, like he just straight up just kills everyone here. The book also it's a universe where Tom Taylor clearly likes certain things, because in this universe, Peter and MJ are married and have a daughter, May. And we have Luke and Danny together with their daughter. You also have Luke and Jessica, they have their daughter Danny. You also have Pietro in here. Pietro and Wanda and Magneto. And the reason I say that is because, Magneto's still their father. Like, Magneto is said that Pietro calls Magneto father. That thing Marvel tried really hard to retcon, but no one really gave a shit about. So it even looks like Tom Taylor didn't give a shit about that and was like, I'm going to write it here. It's almost like these writers like having these alternate universe stories where they get to tell all these characters. Tom Taylor also it feels like since this was Tom Taylor's last swan song for the Marvel comics. I guess he wanted to write only not the characters he was best known for, like Laura and Gabby from his all-new Wolverine series, but also all the characters he wanted to write, like Fantastic Four, Black Panther, Iron Man. And Deadpool. Like, it was all the characters he either knew how to write or wanted to write. Because there are a lot of characters in here, because the thing of it is, I'm going to talk about this right now, this book feels way too damn short. This book feels way, way, way too goddamn short to be a full-on comic. Like, it really does feel pretty damn short. That's the problem. Especially, like, in the 6th issue, where everything wraps up way too fast. I feel like this could have used at least, like, I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute. Most of the storylines in Deceased are pretty short. Like, they're miniseries. Yeah, but like War of the third story is like 8 parts. Deceased and the other ones not only have like they feel like they can breathe. I think Deceased itself was 8 issues, counting all the miniseries that were tied with it. And that's the other thing. Tom Taylor got to do miniseries along with it. So I feel like this Marvel was just like, fuck you, you get 6 issues with this, and he doesn't get to explain the whole thing because this universe doesn't feel, complete. Like, you don't know where some superheroes are, like some major ones. You don't know where Hulk is. You don't know where Thor is. Is he trapped on Asgard? Is Hulk a version of the Maestro in this universe? That's kind of the thing, is that you don't know, and they don't give you an explanation. Captain America's in here. He's barely in here at all. And it is cool to have Apocalypse as the main villain. It is kind of cool to see Apocalypse a villain again, rather than some scheming weirdo on Krakoa. But yeah, it also is fun to see like all these characters interacting with each other. And again, he's really good with the gut punch, but this comic feels like it's incomplete. Like, Tom Taylor only got to write so much. Like, that's kind of what I'm trying to say, is that Tom Taylor didn't get to tell the story he really wanted to tell, because that 6th issue, everything ends real fast. Like, everything just wraps up real quick. So the pacing is what really damages this book for me. But it does give you a lot of great storytelling along with it. Like, seeing Peter Parker, Spider-Man as our main character, who in most Apocalypse stories is either dead or in worse off condition. So it's kind of nice to see Peter in a post-apocalyptic Marvel story kind of take center stage, and that's kind of cute, especially with his and May's relationship in here. It's very adorable. Yeah, I would love to see a sequel to this, or some kind of story to this, because I would like to see, I would like to know, did Hulk... I would really... If I could do this, I would really like to have, like, Hulk became a version of the Maestro, and now just rules over, like, some part... Because everything happens in Wakanda and Europe. Maybe in America, or what was left of America, especially, like, New York, Hulk became, like, the Maestro, or something like that. Because in every post-apocalyptic story, Hulk... No, really, like, it's kind of weird, isn't it? That, like, in every Marvel post-apocalyptic story, Hulk becomes a villain. Yeah, we also don't know what happened to... what happened to Thor? Did he die? Is he trapped on Asgard because of the thing? Who knows? Also, for some reason, Vision is on a lot of these covers as, like, this cool T-800 Vision, but he dies in the first few pages. So I'm like, what was up with that Vision, that T-800 Terminator Vision to begin with? That's some false advertising right there. Yeah. Also, Sue Richards, total MVP of the comic. So, all in all, it's not a bad book. It's definitely worth reading. I definitely give it a seal of approval. It's just, man, does this feel... It really does feel like this could have been more. Like, this really does make you feel like this was cut off at the legs. It really does make you feel like this book was definitely cut off at the legs. So, yeah, you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of Dark Ages? Did you guys like it, hate it? Comment below, let me know. Once again, I'd like to thank Chris for sending me this comic. This was a really great book. Thank you so much for sending it, and the others. Other than that, hope y'all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.